It's abatements. We have a couple of folks who did not get their paperwork filed in time that want to file their paperwork for abatements. So in order for them to be eligible, we have to set a public hearing date. Right now, the soonest we could do that would be July 5th or later. And this would be for waivering abatements for anybody who's filed late. Do you have anything, Laura or Nathan, that you want to add to that?
Just that all you're doing is giving them the opportunity to make their case and letting the public offer any comment. You're not committing to granting the waiver. You're just making it, like I said, giving an option to come and say, here's what happened, here's why we would appreciate it if you give us that waiver and let us get the deduction that we had originally been granted.
And after the public hearing, then on our July 11th meeting, we would actually make the motion to approve or disapprove.
I don't see why not. As long as it's on the agenda.
Okay. All right, my misunderstanding from earlier, so.
Okay, could you please repeat that?
Yeah, we would have to, we do the public hearing and then we would be able to make the motion at that meeting. It would be a special meeting to approve or disapprove the abatement, their waiver that they present to us.
Okay, so is that on July 11th or did we need to set a meeting before
No,
that?
we need to set a meeting before then because to meet the deadlines for the auditor's office and so forth, it needs to happen as quickly as we can legally, looking at publication. So we have to have a 10-day public notification.
Okay, so are you proposing a date for a meeting?
It would be July 5th would be the soonest that we could do that. So I guess, but we have to have a quorum to be able to do it. So I guess that's what I'm asking with those that are here. When's the, could they do July 5th or, and the sooner we do this, I mean, unfortunately, this occurrence, the one business who we know up front is wanting the waiver, who has submitted their documentation for that, did in the past file the paperwork on time. For some reason, this time it didn't happen.
So if you're looking for a thumbs up, I am available and can put that in my calendar for the 5th at 7 o'clock, I'm assuming?
Yes.
7? Okay.
Yeah. Does that work for everybody else?
Tim, it would depend on your schedule. What is your schedule that week?
Right now, my schedule is pretty much booked full, so I will do my utmost to accommodate the group.
Do you know what Adam's schedule is, his availability?
No, I do not. I mean, the best we can do is, set it with the group that's here and hopefully all the rest will be able to accommodate.
6 works for me.
Yeah. Okay. Does that work for?
I can do it on the 6th.
Okay, we'll go ahead and set the public hearing date for July 6th.
6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
What works? Tim, you're the one out in the field. Is there a specific time that works better or one? Yeah, 7's fine. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So we'll do it at 7 o'clock. All right, we'll, we
And
don't
this,
have-
I'm sorry, this
Yeah.
is just a public hearing, vote would be on July 11th.
no, we
This-
would
this-
vote
Vote that
at
night
that
too.
meeting, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, we never make sure that, either that or we can probably move it to another venue. We'll go ahead and move forward then. We have no departments addressing us tonight, so we'll move down to, there is, since we passed the changes to the, moving the CDC director to 40 hours, work week, we need to do a transfer of $4,753 from overtime or professional services to CDC officers' pay, Social Security, Medicare, and PERF. And then we have another transfer from the extension, $42 from travel to services and maintenance. We have a motion to approve the transfers as presented. Yes, and the one for extension is not on the list. It came in late,
Okay.
so I'm sorry that.
And that was how much?
$42 from travel to services and maintenance.
Did you get a second on your motion?
No, I do not have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve transfers as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. We have an additional that needs to be advertised. That's from the highway. That's $200,000 from building and structures, and this is for the roof replacement.
Additional, we need to decide where it's coming from?
County highway.
From county highway? Okay. So move
We have
that we approve it for advertising.
We have a motion and a second for approving the advertising of highway, $200,000 from building and structures, roof replacement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Then we have additional that have been advertised. Commissioners, $25,000, office equipment, this is for the Justice Center. Commissioners, $65,000, land improvements, that's the asphalt parking lot. Surveyor, $3,007, drainage board, payroll, board members pay per meeting, and prosecutor, $2,500, witness fees. I'll entertain a motion.
Move they be approved as advertised.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. All right, approve and sign the 05/09/2022 regular meeting minutes. Everybody has seen them, they were emailed out. We have a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the May 9th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Then we have approve and sign the revised salary and wage ordinance. Once again, that was emailed out to everybody. There were some longevity changes made in there. I think that was all.
So move they be approved as presented.
Have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve and sign the revised salary and wage ordinance. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Okay, we have next our budget hearing dates. Remember our budget hearing with the departments is set for August 8th and 9th, 2022. Right now, Laura has set up tentatively with, agreement from the council that on September 12th, 2022 at the 7 p.m. meeting, we will have the public hearing for the 2023 budget. And then October 10th, 2022 at 7 p.m., we would adopt the 2023 budget.
So move.
We just don't necessarily need a motion on that.
Okay.
We just need, everybody's good with them
I'm
dates?
good. I mean, they're council dates.
Yep.
They're on a calendar already.
All right, we're on the calendar. I don't have really anything to add to the challenge to solve discussion tonight. And Adam's not here, so we'll move forward. Any board reports or discussion from the board?
I went to the Northwest Indiana Solid Waste District meeting, Mike Clerk, myself, well represented, another guy there from Pulaski County, all three of us were there. And we just discussed household hazardous waste and computers, and there's more problems getting rid of the computers. It keeps going up, electronics, you know, that they're paying the bill. Well, they talked about trying to charge, then some places don't even have anybody at their recycling center, it's just basically take something and put it there. And other places, you know, they have to do the billing and the auditor, they have to be positive within 24 hours of getting the money, and there's just a bit, I mean, Pulaski County can probably do that, but other counties couldn't, so they just kind of dropped it because they're worried about running out of money. Money in the bank, it just keeps dwindling because of, you know, they quit doing the free tires, now they're still doing free household hazardous waste and free electronic recycling. You know, the money's just going pretty fast compared to what's coming in. They figured in 10 years they could easily be out of money if they keep doing everything for free. That was the only meeting I really did. I learned anything.
Thank you, Mike.
It might be a good thing to charge for cardboard providers. They might be dropping that off too next week.
That's the concern that I have is, you know, we'll start seeing, you know, just like there, if they stop taking hazardous household waste and, you know, stop taking, you know, or start charging for computers and stuff, we're gonna find more and more electronics and things just being dumped. That'll be a shame. But they definitely, you know, hopefully they can come up with some kind of a mechanism that'll work for both parties. Keep them solvent and keep that stuff from finding our roadside.
The Lieutenant Governor was here for the broadband reception for Pulaski County being broadband ready in the middle of May. Adam was there, Adam Lamer was there, Commissioner Lamer was there. Actually, Commissioner Mellon was there for a while. He couldn't stay, but he was there for a while too. So we had 4 from our boards there. Full room. It was a nice presentation. Good day.
And that brings up, I don't know if the sheriff wants to, you know, maybe has a couple minutes to highlight your recognition of your group and stuff that happened this last month.
Yeah, I've got kind of several things I was gonna get public comment if you guys will let me. I need a motion from you on one thing and then the rest is just comments.
Anything else from the board? I'll entertain the sheriff.
I'll bring it to, since Ken brought the award ceremony, I'll tell you about that. It went very well. We had 11 awards. We passed out some of you guys as awards for 10-year employees. They were well received. We had meritorious awards, life-saving awards. And one of them was deputies and dispatchers. Deputies on this one, an elderly man got lost in the last snowstorm down by Star City. The dispatch was able to ping his phone and get a location on him. Deputies were able to go find him and get him out of the field. Most of the other life-saving awards were our can saves, somebody's overdosed. All of our deputies carry 3 doses of Narcan. We're able to save several lives that way. That's something I'd have to admit that I'm not very good at. It was well received. It was put together by Deputy Barton. Did an excellent job. Kathy was there. 2 of the commissioners were there. Adam was there. So, well received. I appreciate you guys doing another thing I need to bring up is I'd like to thank Councilman Overmeyer for his thoughts on checking with the feds on updating the price on what we get for federal inmates. I think that's going to go. We're still just in the process. Several counties around us have updated theirs. Some of them have increased almost $20 per inmate. That was well worth the effort. We're not done yet, but Monday's still filling out the paperwork on that, but I don't know why we wouldn't get it. Other counties have, so that'll work out well. The other thing I wanted to bring up, the thing I need a motion on is, I'm sure all of you are aware of the issue that we had with the employee in the evidence room. That has, we have now people coming wanting some of their money that was stolen from there. And so we did, the other part of that is the bond we have gotten the bond, and I need to talk more about, get her advice on this. But anyways, what we've done, we've had one person come, and the courts have given their money back, and so we have to come up with that money. And so what we did is I paid that out of the commissary. And what we like to do is reimburse the commissary fund with bond money that we now have. But insurance, the bond was for $10,000. They sent us the whole check for the whole $10,000. So we need to deposit that somewhere where we reimburse the commissary fund for what we paid out. And we did that. One reason was because the process getting the money out, it's a lot easier for Gary just to try to check when they present all this paperwork that they have. So just, I guess I want, you're okay with the commissary money. You know, it's pretty specific what we can spend it on, and I think it's covered. But I just want to make sure that I'm covered. Because it's pretty much any operation of the sheriff's office. So assuming that somebody steals something from the sheriff's office, we have to reimburse that would be a fine transaction. I just want you guys to, or the commissary law says anything that you and I agree on. So that's the one thing I'd like to do. We've done that once already. Haven't had anybody else come forward. And then I'd like to know how we should deposit that $10,000 from the bond.
How much did you spend at a commissary for this?
It's about $1,200.
Okay.
How would you bond?
And we've done that too. You know how it is sometimes to get answers from state board of accounts. Sent them or been on a phone call with them. What do you guys think? So, and we haven't got an answer back. No. The employee that stole the money, he gets sentenced in federal court here next August.
So is it possible that there will be someone else coming to ask for reimbursement?
I believe so.
Okay, so but it needs to go into a fund that can be accessed in the event that more people come forward.
Well,
Right.
so I guess at this time, though, Laurel, Laura doesn't have an answer. This is a new thing, so she'll have to get with the State Board of Accounts and find out what their recommendation is, and then figure out how to make that all happen for everybody working with the sheriff's office.
This didn't come from the county general, you know. It's funny, what the prosecutor's office had to do was contact everybody that case had been affected. Not all the cases were affected. The ones that were affected, they had to actually call the people and say, hey, look. So some of it is where they were found that weren't guilty. So should have got that money back, but they've never come forward to get it. So letters were sent out, and I don't know how she did her letters. I don't know if they were registered or what. People, whoever had one show up, and I would think we would have some others show up. My thing was with this one person, we didn't even know what the process was. So, like I said, I think it's loosely covered by laws on the commissary. I can say that pretty much has to do with the sheriff's office, jail, and then the last part of that law says you can spend it on anything you and the council agree on. I don't mind doing that as long as I know that bond goes back in commissary places. We do that pretty regular. Terry will write the check out of commissary, or finally the money gets through the process, or just put it back in commissary.
So moving forward, Laura's gonna check it out. Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to put anybody on the spot. I don't even know what to do. I'm just trying to get everybody together so that we all know what's going on with everybody's affairs. Yes. So you're gonna put it in the general fund, and we ask to get it back out of there? All right. I'll have Gary send this. What you're talking about is we had a trade-in vehicle.
So we need to get an approval for that. We're looking for approval for that tonight. Okay. So we have another additional that we'll need to advertise. That was for 11,500. That'll go into general and then be moved back to the sheriff's. We have a motion.
We don't need to advertise that it go into general. We just need to
No.
advertise that it be, that
Appropriated back.
right. I so move.
We have a second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I don't even understand what's going on.
Ask the question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand now.
Any further discussion? All those that approve?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
I still need the motion.
I make the motion. Right,
Well, I think she's trying to figure out how to put the bond money, where to put the bond money so that it can reverse back to the commissary, if I'm correct. I got a $10,000 check from the bond company. We bonded for people doing this. So they've sent us a check for $10,000. Well, I've already spent $1,200 out of the commissary to give a person money back. That's their money. The employee had stolen. What I want to make sure is that I get the commissary reimbursed the $1,200.
So, given that questions have to be asked of State Board of Accounts, and we're advertising for additionals now, if the answers come in the way that they might come in, can I make a motion that we add that to the advertisements?
Hey, what happened?
Where do I deposit that 10,000? Right, that's my concern. I don't know where to put that. I don't know if we take a new line item and put it in there or what we do.
I so move.
All right, we have a motion to advertise the $10,000 from the bond. And Laura will research how she has to set up the accounts and get that laid out.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
I got a question.
I still need one more thing. I don't know that you've said it yet. That I have, that you and I agreed that I can spend money out of the commissary account to pay the money that's stolen. Somebody comes forward, so Terry can just write the check.
Yeah.
And that is just a motion between you guys saying that you agree with me that that's an okay expenditure.
Can we just say that and it goes in the minutes?
I think the law basically says that you can spend commissary money on anything that you want as long as you being the sheriff and the council agree. So however you guys want to agree to that, if that's, you'll do that.
I'd say we just entertain a motion and make it
I'll make a
clear.
motion to allow the sheriff to spend money that was stolen out of the commissary fund.
No, it wasn't stolen out of the commissary, it's stolen.
Stolen out of the evidence.
There you go.
And he can reimburse the people out of the commissary fund.
I agree with that. If that's the motion, I agree.
I second that.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, sorry, Sheriff, we start down that road and then we go another direction.
I hope this is never, anybody else has to go through this again, but I hope.
All right, we have a motion and a second to, use the, with agreement between the sheriff and the council to use the commissary fund to reimburse money that was removed from the evidence room.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Those that approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Okay, you got $10,000 from the bond company, and you had to pay $1,200 out, and you think there's gonna be continuing more claims against it. What if it doesn't add up to 10,000?
There's that, I don't know, and that 10,000 was,
Over 10,000. Do you know how much was taken?
I do,
Is it over 10,000?
it is.
Could be an issue.
But these are questions that Laura's gonna ask the State Board of Accounts.
Well, and I think what'll happen is we go over the bond money, that I'll just pay it out of the commissary. That way it doesn't cost the county anything. But, yeah, the other side of that is the federal government, part of this employee is in order to reimburse us. Split out the turnip. But I think that that's the best answer, because it helps the commissary fund out if, say, it works perfect and it's 10,000, and if it doesn't work, then taxpayer money's not. It's not
Right.
coming. Well, then I guess what will happen with, let's say it's less, they only come back for 5,000 left in that fund. I suppose it goes into the general fund. Something there, which is fine with me.
But there's no date by which they have to come to you. I mean, they could come to you 5 years from now.
I don't think that'd be a Kevin question. Sure, there's gotta be some time.
You have Carrie also fill out the paperwork to get to me and Laura, so we have a tracking of, the advertisements and stuff that we need.
Yeah, in fact, I think she's put that on for the next, council meeting. I just wanted to get this motion just.
Anything further for the sheriff?
Thank you.
All right, any other public comment?
Yeah, I just have a quick question.
Yes, could you, yeah, step,
COVID regulations, you guys have like a resolution where if someone was home with COVID, you, pretend you did it once, you like did Zoom. Can't you just all pass a resolution that you can do that? If you get stuck out of state for work, but you know there's a meeting that you really need to stay, or there's a Monday night meeting, but Tuesday there's gonna be 3 inches of rain coming, you really need to pick corn Monday night. Why can't you just pass a resolution? I mean, can you guys work on that with commissioners?
I can check with council, or with our attorney, but that was a special exemption given by the state for COVID, because it was COVID times, but in the past, we don't have the option of zooming in and it's being present.
I think you should check on that. I think that has changed. Because if they're doing court hearings by Zoom now, at the state, not in Indianapolis, you can watch them.
Okay,
The thing is, there are county councils and county commissioners that have passed resolutions that would allow for that to happen. But we have not done
So,
that. I mean,
Ken,
it's been presented. I mean,
Specifically what the change law is. It's not like it was during COVID when you and I could be sitting here alone and I could be running the laptop and every other council member could be at home. You have to have a majority of the members still attend in person. No one member can attend more than half of the meetings in a year virtually. And nobody who's attending virtually can vote on budgets and a couple of other fiscal things. But
is that a new regulation, or is that one of the county resolutions that you saw?
Those are the primary guidelines that the state legislation put in place.
Their guidelines?
Well, those are the basic rules you have to follow with your resolution if you do it.
If we do a resolution, and to this point, we have not done a resolution, we have gone with the state's declaration of an emergency. The state is no longer in a state of emergency, so we can no longer meet. You have to be present in order to be able to
Unless
vote.
we adopt a resolution.
Right, and
I really think that they should be looked at, because I think it's changed.
no, it's something we can look into. That would be beneficial for a number of us who travel and work and so forth, so.
I'd like to revisit the proposed rules I proposed back last December. I think everybody got a copy by January. There were 10 easy rules that even this county can live by. And that would be one of them I would tack on there, is that the number of meetings you need to attend, even to be a member of this county. Because if you don't attend, you can't retain. You're not really representing if you're not here. I know sometimes things come up, but we can maybe do something by telephone. We're still under technically a emergency, right? We have emergency management.
well, no, the state is no
No,
longer.
the state.
The state's not, but are we? We never really addressed that.
Stating whether.
We didn't address any of those rules.
Well, whether the county's under a state of emergency or not, that's set by the commissioners. Council doesn't set
Well,
that.
let me ask this question, Sheriff's here, are we under a state of emergency?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so either, but I still think we need to write rules in case we do go back under.
So noted. Any further board or public comment? All right. Our next commissioners meeting is, the next commissioners meeting is Monday, 6/20/22 at 8:30 a.m. The next council meeting is Monday, July 11th, 2022, 7 p.m. The next joint session is August 15th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Don't forget to